Welcome to Future Role Model, a podcast that praises the unconventional and redefines what it means to be a role model. I'm your host, Natasha Pearl Hansen. I have just arrived back from Las Vegas, where I have started Future Role Models Live. It will be in its second month starting October 14th. So please, if you're in Las Vegas, coming through Las Vegas, every single Monday I have a show featuring comedians you have seen on this podcast. Myself, who flies in from Los Angeles every fucking week. I'm tired. My throat is dry. It sounds like I'm eating sand, but that's the hustle, guys. And in the house today, I have Betsy Cox.
Hey,
what's
y'all.
up, mama?
What's up, girl?
Oh, God, we were just talking outside while you were plugging your meter. I know, I always cozy. I just hold the mic like it's like a dick I don't want to play with. Like it's just like flopping near my face, and I'm like, oh, I have to do this. I'm just looking at the clock. Oh, I got another hour of this shit. No, I'm just kidding. I love that. This is the funnest thing. And like, people always ask what my favorite part of like different brands that I'm creating for myself are. I think that's the correct grammatical way to say that sentence. And my podcast is my favorite just because it's like a fun, I become very close with people after just having a 1 hour in-depth conversation with them. Yeah. So it's just really fun. Do you have a podcast as well?
No, I don't have a podcast.
Everybody has a podcast.
I'm on Alex Thomas's The Funny Don't Stop show.
Okay.
Every
I thought there
Tuesday.
was something that you did regularly.
But it'd be great to have a podcast. I need to find a little bit more time because
it's so much work.
It's so much work.
It's so much work. And sometimes, like, if I'm about to tour, which is like all the time, then I have to queue up a bunch of episodes. And then, I'm taping episodes every city that I'm in. It's just like, sometimes I'm like, I really need to hire an assistant. If anybody out there would like to be my assistant for like 15 hours a week, that's all I think I can afford right now. But I would be able to afford more than that soon. So awesome. Hit me up. Because mama needs some help. I am underwater.
If anybody's looking for an intern,
right?
She will role model.
Just like Kramer. Oh, that'd be so funny. Just like make somebody work for free but do nothing in your home.
Right.
But anyway, how have you been? What's going on?
Good. Just been busy, but good.
Yeah.
Keeping up with everything, doing shows. You know how it is. Staying up late at night, not sleeping.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. I feel like the last time we actually spoke was at Pearl's. Wasn't there something you were premiering and I was upstairs for some event like a year and a half ago?
Mm-hmm. That's so funny. My friend and I produced a short film and we got into a bunch of festivals. It was really cool.
Yeah.
That is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Oh my God.
I did a lot of the festival circuit stuff back in the day, and granted, I mean, it looks nice to be on a red carpet and you're doing all these things. You're getting a bunch of exposure, but it's not exposure that equates to anything fast. Like, that's what people think. It's something that, like, one of the first pilots I shot 5 years ago, we got into a ton of festivals, and that led me to be a production assistant on a feature and also be in it around the same time.
That's awesome.
And that guy is who just directed my comedy special that's about to come out. So
I saw that. That is so cool.
Oh
you
my
did
God,
that.
I'm so excited. I finally just got the edit and I'm so excited. And I've been sending it secretly to friends because it's on a private link. And yeah, I mean, the feedback has been nice. It's nice when your friends that are assholes watch something and then they're texting you the whole night, oh my God, this. And I'm like, okay, you hate everything. So that makes me happy.
Yeah. Those are the people you want to send everything to.
Yeah, no, I don't send it to my nice friends. No, my nice friends can.
Yeah, I just send it to my sister. She's like,
what is that?
No.
Where does your sister live?
Both of my sisters live here.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's nice.
Yeah, I think you probably met them but didn't realize they're my sisters.
Probably.
They're not blondes. They're dark-haired girls.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Are you the only blondie?
Yeah, I'm the only blonde in my entire family.
How'd that happen?
Yeah. My hair might be a little bit lighter than yours naturally. Everybody says it's so weird. But I was born with blonde hair, and it stayed that way. And then it got probably a little bit lighter than yours.
Sandy. Yeah, mine. They used to call me dirty blonde when I was little, or dishwater blonde. That was a big thing in the Midwest.
Yeah,
and I'd get so sad about it. It used to really hurt my feelings. Out of all the things that I've taken in life, that was what hurt the most.
Yeah, you felt like a dirt.
Yeah. I was like, it's not dishwater hair.
You probably should not call a girl a dirty blonde. Gordon. I never thought about that.
Yeah, dirty blonde or dishwater blonde. Yeah. I'm like, ugh, it makes me sound so gross. Don't call me that. Where did you grow up?
New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay. I knew it was somewhere south. I couldn't remember exactly where. That's the one city that I have not been to that I really want to go to.
It's so crazy there.
I know.
It's so wild there. It never stops.
It's like I've been in Vegas every week this past month, and like kind of like that. Actually, Vegas kind of does stop. Like it goes to bed on Mondays.
Does it? I mean, I was in Vegas and I remember the first time I went, I sat at the blackjack table. The lights were on outside. What should I say? The sun came up, more or less. And I was like, oh God, I'm still drinking Bloody Marys. Like, this is crazy.
It's weird because, like, it doesn't go to sleep per se, but, like, the nightlife switches. Like, because I'm a bar person, and the only things that are open really, really late are, like, most of the hotel's piano bars or Fremont Street or the nightclubs. And I don't do nightclubs.
Yeah.
I can only last in them for a short amount of time. Like, I don't like the clientele. Like, I've never gone to a nightclub and met a quality person and been like, wow, I'm so glad I came here. What, like, great fucking people. Never once. And we went to one, like the other 2 nights ago, one of my friends bartends at one of the nightclubs. He also bartends at this really cool, like, swanky place called the Barbershop. It's in the Cosmopolitan. It's like a cool speakeasy. Like, that kind of place I love. But the other place he works is called Omnia, which is one of the famous
I love
clubs.
Omnia. Yeah.
We're in line to grab a drink and say hi to him, and this one dude just like pops right in and just butts in front of me, and I'm just looking at him like, you're fucking trash, man. Like, what are you? Like,
he probably had a little tail
Monday,
behind.
Dude.
Yeah,
like,
he was trying to get a shot to take somebody.
Calm the fuck down and get behind us. Like, I don't know. It's just I don't like to go out and then feel more pestered.
Yeah, it's aggravating. I worked in nightclubs for years.
Yeah,
and it was always like, I think, everybody just thought like I was a hooker because they didn't realize I worked there. It's like, oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I totally get that. Because if you're dressed any sort of sexy, and you're out late,
people would be like, "Do you speak English?" I'm like, yeah, like barely, because I'm Southern. But.
Yeah, what would they think? You speak like French? You don't look.
Everybody
Hispanic.
thinks I'm Russian. Everybody thinks like I'm a Russian.
Okay.
Like I'm, like let's not go.
Oh man, it's like it. It just kind of astounds me, the clientele. But what's funny about hookers is they're never the people you think. The people who are dressed more blingy and like are either just club girls or club bartenders.
Totally.
The hookers are very inconspicuous.
Yeah. The hookers are the ones wearing Christian Louboutins because they have the money. You know what I mean? The hookers are the one that are wearing like they look just like they walked out of Neiman Marcus. Yeah, for sure, especially here. In
Los Angeles, I used to work at one of the big hotels, like one of the 5-star hotels. I don't like to say which one, but I probably have actually said it before. But like 7 years ago, and I did like junkets and worked in the lounge, and the hookers that would come in there were like. They were like really classy looking.
Yeah. Well, okay. First of all, they're not making $5,000 a night.
Yeah.
Because they look like a skank on the street.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
they were like sharp.
Yeah.
Like not the trashy nail or anything. Just like everything was just put together.
Exactly.
I'm like, that's how you get a guy. That's how you sneak the fuck in at 2 a.m.
Let's talk about role models, okay? the movie Pretty Woman.
Yeah, right?
Everybody in our time grew up wanting to be Julia Roberts.
Yep.
These girls learned from Julia Roberts.
No shit. Isn't that crazy?
It totally.
I loved that movie when I was younger.
Everybody loved that movie.
Like, how did I not just trash fuck every guy?
It was every girl's dream.
Make money.
Yeah. So they were like, look, we dress like this. We taking the guy home in the Lamborghini. Mm-hmm. Let's get him to climb up the
My God.
fire hydrants.
Crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I have never maybe I'm just dumb, but I never slept with guys with money. Like, why did I do that? I should have been so much more wise.
Yeah. You know, my neighbor told me that once. She was like 95. She is such a badass chick. Like, so I was like blown away by her all the time. She would say, I was always dating the dishwasher in the back of the kitchen.
Yep.
And she said, well, darling, it's just as easy to date a guy with a good job than it is one with a bad job. And I was like, oh.
I'll go figure. I never really thought about it like that.
Nobody thinks about it.
But then it's like the movie like Made in Manhattan and shit, where like Jennifer Lopez always gets her into the rich people because all of her poor friends.
Right.
You know, it's like the people who work in the kitchen that are going to let you in the back door and like give you a change of clothes quick and let you sneak into the clientele that you don't belong around. You know?
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up in New Orleans? Like, what was that experience?
It's very different. You know, when I went to Europe for the first time, I was like, oh my God, these are people that are like people in New Orleans, because the lifestyle is sort of laid back. You know, it's not like, oh my God, you can't drink till you're 18. It's like, oh, what do you guys want to drink? Like, parents will buy liquor and let you have a drink or two. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so laid back. It's just very different. It's not so uptight. It's just chill.
Like big city feel, or just more like backyard?
Backyard.
Okay.
Totally. Even in New Orleans, like, people aren't like, you know, I got to be this big powered this. And if you are, you leave, because this is like New Orleans, like you
still
work.
The South, where it's like more of like because I lived in North Carolina for a little portion of my life. The South has more of like a slower pace in general.
But I think New Orleans is a little bit different from the South, because like literally you work to enjoy life. Most people enjoy life, like working is enjoying life, is what I should say.
Yeah. Like, or working is like a drudge and a necessity in order to.
And you love it. Like, you're a workaholic. Like, I'm a workaholic. Aren't you? Like, what would I do if I didn't work? Like, I have a million things going on.
Same.
And there, it's like, we're just working to get a paycheck, to have the next barbecue, to party with our friends. Like,
there's something interesting about that. I feel like that is a very European lifestyle. Like, I have a friend that lives in the Czech Republic, and me and Rachel O'Brien. You know Rachel O'Brien?
Oh, yeah. I've seen her like in your,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we toured in Europe together in the spring and stopped in Prague. And I remember this. I went to Prague 11 years ago, and they were telling us, like, I don't remember how their work week is structured, but it's not traditional. Like, they have like, they switch between like a hefty work week and a light work week or something like that. Like, the way that they structure it is so that you can just have like kickback time with your family. And it's like, it's less of the 9-to-5 thing that we've created in this culture is so strange. Not a lot of people do that.
I feel like we've created a 9-to-9 thing in this culture. Like, it's like, I feel like it's like, don't you wake up every day feeling like you're not doing enough? Like, you could do more.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten better about that. I've gotten really good in the last year, I would say, about trying to balance my social life because I only am creative when I'm socially stimulated.
100%.
And I can't, when I go to sit down to work, I don't feel like I can work unless I've satiated that part. So I'll get a little bit of work done in the morning, go, like, if I'm on tour, I'll go catch up with friends or go do lunch or like get an afternoon beer, go back and take care of a little bit more stuff for like 2 hours and like prep for a show, do my show, go out afterwards with everybody. Like, I have a good kind of balance now. This Vegas thing is throwing me off a little bit. It's hard to be there.
Where is that assistant? Has anyone texted?
It's hard to be there and just be like, yeah, I'm just going to come here and do my show and work and not go out. Because of course you're going to fucking go out.
Yeah.
After your show, like, it's Vegas and everything's open and fun.
Yeah, I know. But that is where the material comes in.
Exactly.
It's like, what would you write about if you did nothing but work?
My last 3 weekends, I did like so many mushrooms.
I love it.
I didn't do mushrooms for the first time until like a year ago. And, but last weekend I was filming a movie in Area 51, and then I went straight to Vegas. We were filming a movie in RVs, and so we had to do the Area 51, alien stock. And then they dropped me off in Vegas on the way back so I could do my show. So I had done mushrooms my second day of filming because we were done filming for the night and we had met all these weird people and we just thought it would be like a perfect space to do them. And came back to Vegas and, of course, was talking about doing mushrooms. And I did them again this weekend in Vegas. Because they're very, I used to always think that they were really harsh, but they're like not at all. And I don't take a lot. But they just make you just very like happy and open-minded for like 5 hours, which is really fun to do in Vegas. And I'm really obvious too, because I'm already like the happiest drunk person in the world. Like I think everybody's my friend. They could be like pointing a knife at me and I'd be like, come here, get in here. It's going to be fun.
So I have never done anything except for smoke pot.
Really? See, I don't smoke pot. I hate weed.
I don't either. I
don't
can't.
like it at all.
I've smoked it like 4 times years ago when I was younger. Okay. Like in my like 19, 20. I smoked it recently because my back is so bad. And my friend said, this is going to cure your back. Like I'm probably going to eventually have to get surgery, but so I'm literally can't walk. I'm crawling and I'm like,
what is it specifically with your back?
Okay. So my L4, L5, the disc is worn down really slim. And it has a tear in it from the middle out the back. So
how does that even happen?
I know. It's so weird, right? Because I have degenerative disc disease. So it's like, and most people do. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I hold stress in my back. So it's like, the second I get like...
Our spine takes a lot of shit.
I know.
Especially if you travel a lot too. Totally. I've noticed like I've had to do different kinds of stretches just to recover from being on airplanes. Because everything's built like this. And you're like, why are we all sitting like in...
But you do yoga, so that totally helps.
I'm sure it does.
And hot yoga is like insanely good.
Yeah.
Because it really gets you more stretch than regular yoga, I feel like.
Yeah, I think so.
I do Kundalini like every day.
Oh, isn't that the one that makes you like severe cry?
No, I've never, no.
Or is that Kundalini breathing?
It's the breath work. It's so hard. But you hold your arms up for like 15 minutes at a time sometimes. And like breathe.
People have told me that Kundalini is like hard shit.
It's so hard. It's like a mental thing though. It's like, you learn your mental strength. Like mentally, you can do anything. It's physically if you stop yourself. Physically you're like, but if you build your mind strength up, it's like you could really do anything.
Fuck, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
A lot of shit's in our mind, honest to God.
Totally. So let me just tell you, I smoked pot, had a paranoid freak out, ripped my clothes off, tried to go to the ER. So I decided, never again am I smoking pot.
How long ago was this?
This was like a year and a half ago.
Oh, so not that long ago. Adult Betsy life.
Right.
Oh, shit.
I just don't think, I always thought, Betsy, if you do drugs, you are going to kill yourself. You're crazy.
There are only 3 people I'll do anything around. Yeah. Well, that's a lie, kind of. But for the most part, one of my best friends is very good at micro portioning anything out. And by that I mean mushrooms or Molly.
Yeah. To microdose so you don't get.
Yeah. And so then it does, nothing's ever hitting you
Yeah.
And I won't ever trip. I don't do enough to ever trip.
I'll tell you, I got drugged once. Okay. Ugh. And I've never done drugs. I get drugged. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll have a drink. Idiot over here. I was up for 2 days. And I was like, I am a genius. Whoa, I am so smart. I might write a book today.
Oh my God. It's crazy what comes into your mind.
Right. But I wonder
there are so many things.
What if you wrote that book? And first of all, I don't even know what the drug was I was drugged with. So if I wanted to go back and be like, oh, let me do that drug so I can write a book.
It was probably PCP. It sounds like a PCP reaction. Because I've heard, I don't know. But I don't know enough about drugs. I only dabble in 3 things, which is alcohol, mushrooms, and occasionally Molly. But I don't do anything else. And I don't consider those 3 to be hard. And they're probably some of the hard. Everybody's consideration of hard is different. But I'm open about what I enjoy because I feel like I do it the right amount. And I find mushrooms should be legal. They are so great. Yeah. And if everybody microdosed mushrooms, I swear nobody would nobody would have issues with each other. Like they make you just understand everything. This is how this is how happy they just make you. I was at the Area 51 camp out. We were next to this family. We didn't know that. We hadn't really gotten to know our neighbors yet, but we were in our little rectangle of RVs, and there was this RV family next to us, and they had the cutest kids, and they came over and wished one of our crew members a happy birthday and brought him cake, and like their whole little family came over. And this little girl and I became BFFs.
Aww.
And I ended up doing the mushrooms and then going over to their campsite. Obviously, the kids were asleep, but I had this intense adult conversation with their entire adult family, and I don't really remember what it was all about, but I just remember us all being like, "Oh my God, yeah, I totally get you. I totally get." It just makes strangers be like, "Yeah, yep, I'm totally open minded to what you're saying."
Yeah, I mean, I can't think it would be worse than I got diagnosed in my 30s with ADHD. They gave me Adderall.
Oh my God. Adderall is worse, crazier than cocaine. It's
is it?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't say stuff because I'm not a doctor.
It probably is. I think it's like amphetamine.
I think the makeup of it is actually much more triggering than.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that the opiate crisis that we're having is because of doctors prescribing shit.
Yeah, I know.
Not the stuff you get on the streets. Everyone wants to shame you for doing a little bit of Molly and going to a festival, or for eating a mushroom stem, and it's fuck what?
Right. No, totally. I totally understand. Because it's people are going to the doctors every week and getting 150 Vicodin.
Well, and they were doing it for a long time, and then they snatched it away from a lot of people, and that made everybody need it to
I think
get it on the street.
There was some pharmacy that just got busted for selling it. Tell me, or something. My mom told me something.
Down in New Orleans?
Pharmacy, no, here.
Oh, really?
Got busted for selling it on the low.
Does your mom live here in New Orleans?
Yeah, my mom lives here.
So the whole family moved.
Mm-hmm.
What? Okay, we have to get into that.
Leader of the pack over here.
Was it just the three of you girls and your mom growing up?
I had a brother.
Okay,
yeah.
You had a brother. So you had a pretty big family.
Yeah, family of 4. My brother was much older. And then so what happened was my older sister went through a breakup, and she just graduated college, probably, I don't know, 2 years before the breakup or something, or a year. And I was like, she had always wanted to go to fashion school. So I was like, get out here and go to FITM.
Yeah.
So she came here. She got her degree at FITM as well. And so she had 2 degrees and is like, well, now she worked in fashion for a while and then got a job in liquor sales. So then.
Dang. For which company?
I can't even remember.
I just know a lot of people that work in that industry.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough for a woman in liquor sales, I'll tell you. But I mean, I'm sure it's gotten better.
Yeah.
But, so she did that for a while. And then my younger sister, my brother passed away of cancer. And then we're like, Sophia, you can't be home alone. There's no family there. Yeah. So we made her move out. And then maybe a few months later, Katrina hit. And we're like, well, Mom, you have nothing now. So
did it wipe out your house or your family's?
My mom didn't own. She rented at the time, which was a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it wiped out the whole neighborhood, was just insane. And I was like, did you
go down there to help her move or anything?
She was in a shelter, and we just moved her straight from the shelter here.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Nothing remained?
Nothing. Anything that was, the water was to the roof. So you had nothing, no clothes or anything to go back for. My dad was still there, and there's no way my dad would ever move. So he went back and got our car, the car, and kept it and just sold it.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I haven't really met anybody who experienced that directly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have a lot of friends that live in that area or from that area.
It was crazy. Our friend is a cop, and he would bring my dad food and water. He's very close to us. We went to high school with him, and he said it was I don't know if I should say this, but he said so many people had died that they literally were just in boats picking up bodies and tying the arms to trees, hanging them all over the city because they couldn't even keep up with all the
getting
people.
them out of the water.
Yeah. It's like, look at the Bahamas right now.
Nobody talks about that, though. Nobody really expresses like how bad something is.
I think because there was a lot of, and I feel bad saying this, I think that people were focusing on the crime part of it. But at the same time, I just think that people were like, oh, the looting. It's like, okay, well, no one has food. No one has water.
Yeah, of course they're going to loot. Like that's.
Yeah, I'm going to go kick a door down too for my family just to let you know I'm going to get some water for everybody. Like,
you can't judge what people do in a situation because you don't know what you would even do. I've even talked about this with friends. I'm like, even training in martial arts, like I've never had to fight anybody. I don't know what would happen if I were in a situation or what would kick in or like anything like that.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Nobody knows because when you're in survival mode, you just do some crazy shit.
Totally.
Like everybody does.
Totally. And then nobody wanted to go down and help because I think they were saying things were happening in the Superdome. Apparently, a lot of it was totally a lie. A lot of it was not happening, but it's just, whatever.
And how long ago was that now? That was
years ago, right? Like 8 or 9, 10.
Was it already that long ago?
It was a long.
Shit.
Yeah. But you see, look at the, and it's in the news for like a month and then it stops. Look at all the.
My friends were in the Virgin Islands a year and a half ago when like Maria and Irma hit. And so they got totaled. Everything got totaled. And I visited them twice since then. But there's still chunks of the islands that everything's just flattening down. And, because it is like that. People get attention until the next thing happens and that new place gets attention. And, what's shitty for U.S. territory islands is that when something happens there and then something later happens on mainland United States, of course, all the attention goes to mainland United States.
Yeah.
So people forget about the islands. And the islands just they just die, because not the people per se, but like the island itself, like it doesn't rebuild very fast. They don't have materials. They don't have resources. Totally. So, and nowhere to get anything from. And it's just really interesting when people go through disasters like that. I mean, was there anything else like that had happened in the South when you were growing up, or was there?
I mean, we had hurricanes that we got in the car and we sat in like 10 hours of traffic to get out.
Yeah.
I think Andrew was one. We had to board everything up. We had a lot of those. We knew they were coming, and you prepare and do the best you can, and hopefully they turn. But I mean, didn't we just have like a meteor about to hit Earth and wipe Earth out?
What?
Didn't
I did not know about that.
Yeah, I think we did. Somebody just told me, and I Googled it, and I was looking at it, and it took a turn or something. I mean, like
What?
We have aliens coming down. That's probably. Did you see?
Dude.
Yeah, the whole. That documentary on Netflix with the 151, the element 151, Area 51, where you just shot.
I didn't see that.
Is it Bob Lazar, right? That's his name. He's been coming out for years. Yeah, you should watch it. Yeah, he finally there's some show, and it's the guy. Remember when the alien sightings were released on CNN?
Yeah,
recently.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy that was the head of that whole department that shut down where they were doing research on this, and they took the funding away. He has this special on the History Channel. Is it on the History? Yeah, because I have it DVR'd and I watch it. It's
I gotta
crazy.
watch all this shit because I
watch it. It's crazy.
I love the older I get, the more I'm open to weird shit. Just because, why not?
Yeah. And it's Bob Lazaro, right? It's Bob Lazaro. Yeah. That's his name. Yeah. So he worked in Area 51. Yeah. And it's crazy.
Well, and it's more so like what we were hearing a lot of stories about at this festival. Like they weren't, people weren't really talking about like looking for aliens or anything like that. There was a couple that had felt like they had been abducted, but they weren't like crazy people.
Yeah.
They were like, I don't know. It's just hard to tell where somebody gets something from, but most people were talking about Area 51 as just a very secretive military base as far as what is happening within the U.S. What secrets they're keeping from the public,
right?
Whether it's aliens or not, it's not really about that.
Well, that's what this guy, he was like, they had spacecrafts that had crashed from aliens, and we were just studying them and trying to figure out how to get this technology, because we were like, we're in trouble. We need this technology. And that's what the whole thing is about.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's, it's funny when you start having conversations like that with people and you're like, there are problems so much bigger than my shit. It makes you kind of like go through a Tuesday differently. You're like, I could stress out about these 40 things on my to-do list, or I could just remember that my shit, like, I can probably put like 5 of these things off till tomorrow if I'm drowning and stuff. Like, I've gotten so much better at doing that, just being like, how badly do I think all of these things need to be done right now? Can I make 10 of them happen tomorrow so I don't feel like I'm going to die?
Yeah.
Because none of it really matters. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters.
Anyone can see. No, I put 30 things on a to-do list for one day, and I'm like, what? I'm such a loser. I got 4 done. I was in traffic for 8 hours to get one.
Somebody told me that there's only like 3 or 4 things you can get done really well on a given day, and I kind of believe that. Like, maybe there's like 5 things that take only a couple minutes that you can do real quick. But like, I don't know. I mean, there is definitely a way to structure your day so you don't feel like your head is going to explode. Right. And this is why 9-to-5s don't make sense. Like, who can function on a schedule like that? I've never worked a 9-to-5, but Lord knows on a given day, like, I get a lot of shit done, but I do it in my house for the most part when I'm like booking tours or like working on podcast stuff or editing something or writing a script or pitching stuff. In between that, I get up to go to the bathroom and I see like something laying on the floor, and then I start dicking around in this corner for a bit. And then I find that like I'm probably not ADD, but I do find my way into traps in my own apartment.
The whole world is ADD. How could you
we
not
have
be
too
ADD?
much shit.
Yes.
Nobody, who's not ADD? Anybody in China, because their houses are so tiny. Like, you can't walk around. Have you seen some of those?
I've never been to China.
I've never been to China, but there's another documentary. Speaking of all these documentary show, I think it's on Netflix. It's like details different cities. So it like goes to like the world's largest cities and kind of breaks down like the infrastructure and like how living there would be. And in Hong Kong, my roommate in college was from Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, I mean, it's so densely populated.
Yeah.
Some of these people are literally like it broke my heart that there was this old guy that lives, he like just has a bed. It's like a shelf with a bed, and he cooks inside of there and lives inside of it. And that's the pod he pays rent for.
Yeah. It's becoming like that in LA too.
Yeah. It's like it's not even a room. It's a bed.
Yeah.
In a shelf of beds that just goes for an entire skyscraper. It's like insane.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And so, you can't get ADD when you're living like that. You just have to leave you gotta leave. You have to leave.
You gotta get out of the pod.
You gotta go away. I mean, so it's gotta be something with our culture that is ADD, because it's not every culture.
I mean, it's the phones, the iPads, and the kids are starting on them so
too much distraction, too much at our fingertips. Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
Our news.
I mean, growing up, like, because I grew up in Wisconsin, I think back to growing up in that space, and I'm sure you have plenty of great stories from New Orleans, but like, we just played outside. It was awesome.
But everyone in our time did, because the only thing we had was a Nintendo with Mario Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Or an Atari, whatever that thing was.
2 people at a time could play that. And if you were hanging out with 3 or more, you had to be outside.
That's it.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything. We had the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, right? We didn't have shit like that.
Yeah.
What was it like for you in New Orleans, and like what did you get into as a kid and as a teen?
You know what? As a teen, it was bad because it was such a wild place, and it was so laid back. You could go to clubs and you could use fake ID, and they didn't care. And then we had teen clubs, so it was like you could go to a club and order Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? Like,
I was like, what? They had a cocaine bar?
Everybody in LA, when I'm drinking a Coke, they're like, you're on Coke? I'm like, no, Coca-Cola.
But that's how casual LA is about it. Like, there was this guy in Vegas, too. I mean, Vegas is a city like this. I thought LA was a hard place to maintain a relationship, but fuck, I'm meeting these people in Vegas. Now I'm befriending these people, and I'm like, how the fuck is anybody married in this town?
I know.
Because there's so much money floating around there that like people make exceptions. They're like, oh, well, I'll just pretend like I'm going to go home with this guy and like he'll give me 5G. Like some of the stories I was hearing from different servers and stuff, they're like, I'll pretend that I'm going to do this and take this dude's money and then like not do the thing.
Damn.
Like there's a lot of money floating around that town.
Doing that.
I know, but like people do it. Like the hustle is really real. But there was this guy in one of the Vegas pools that was just like floating around. It was pretty dead. And he just had cocaine falling out of his like wet Coke nose, where it was just like dripping out of his nose. And I was like, this is hilarious. Like, no, and nobody even cared because it's Vegas. Yeah. And like, this is the kind of city too, where if you were to go to a bartender and you're like, yeah, I'm on Coke, they'd be like, all right, cool. Yeah. Want a club soda? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. People are crazy. People be crazy.
Yeah. People are crazy. I was just talking to someone the other day about Miami when I first moved there. I lived there for like 2 years. Oh, it's crazy. I remember like coming from New Orleans, like I had never even seen cocaine. Okay. I was like, never knew anything about it.
And then you go to Miami and there's just like bricks of it.
It's like mountains of it on tables in clubs. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm obsessed with Scarface. I'm like, this is like Scarface. Like, I'm Michelle Pfeiffer right now.
Oh my God. So when did you start kind of partying in New Orleans?
Oh, young. I mean, young. You were going out to clubs on the weekends and you were going to teen clubs and... Ooh.
Did your mic pop out?
Yeah, it popped out. It's okay. It's back in. You were going to teen clubs. You were going to clubs. I mean, even... in neighborhoods, your neighborhood, all the kids would get together and we have those big levees, you know, that hold the water back.
Yeah.
So everybody in the neighborhood at like 12, 13, 14, we were all hanging out behind the levee with a boom box, like dancing behind the levee. It was just like, it's just different. And remember, it's like probably like Wisconsin where it's small town. Here is very different. Mm-hmm. There's nowhere to do stuff like that. Like, what do you like in your parents' backyard, maybe? But like, it's just different here. I feel like, growing up there is like, you know, hometown fun. Like, it's better.
It sounds cool, actually. Yeah. It sounds kind of like because Wisconsin was pretty laid back too, but it wasn't. It's one of the states where you can drink with your parents, and most of our parents were really laid back about it. Like, they would let us drink at the house as long as we didn't go out or drive.
Exactly. Don't you feel like that's better?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're not like, I have a friend here whose parents were really strict. Well, she's not my friend anymore because I was sick of bailing her out of every 3 DUI she was getting in 1 year, totally out of control. And I'm like, what do you do? Like, I don't want to hang out with you.
It's the truth. Like my parents tried to be stricter with me because I was the only kid and I was their daughter. But like, they quickly realized that I have to just do my own thing. Most people that have been, that's just kind of been me forever. So they started trusting my friends' parents. Obviously, my friends' parents are very trustworthy. And I'm still best friends with all of these people that I grew up with. Like, I see them all the time. But we could stay places as long as I was at one of my friends' houses and one of the parents was around. My parents didn't really care what I was doing anymore. But we got good at drinking. Like that. By the time I went to college, like I wasn't really doing fucked up things in college because like I was already like, oh, I drink beer. I've been drinking beer for a while now. So it wasn't like I felt like I had to like,
Yeah. And you know, it's funny because I wonder too, is I worked my entire life. So like at 11, I was a babysitter and I really like made money. And then I got a job at Tasty Donuts, Hooters, like all these places.
Yeah.
So when it came time for college, I had been working for so long. I just didn't. I was like, well, first of all, I never even planned on going to college. I was like, I'm going to move. I'm going to do something else. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to model in Miami. I'm going to move to LA.
You to Miami?
I just got in my car. I met a guy at the bar at Hooters. I was bartending. I was like, just turned 19. And I was like, he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to Miami because I work on the boats as a chef. And I was like, well, when are you leaving? And he's like, I'm leaving Sunday. And it was a Friday night. And I was like, would you mind if I like followed you there and I'll just get an apartment like that day? I'll figure it out. He's like, no, not at all. I packed my car up with black garbage bags of clothes.
Holy shit.
Got in my car on Sunday.
Just with a stranger.
Yeah. I think I had like $1,300 saved.
Wow.
And my apartment was $1,000 a month to month. I went into like 20 apartments. It was like a model housing. So I paid the $1,000 for that month. I had like $300 and I was like, I'll just go to Hooters and get a job and figure it out.
Did you? Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's crazy.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I moved here just like that too. It's so crazy. I had less money. I think I had like $500 or $600 when I moved here, but I had a credit card at that point, and it had like an $1,800 limit. Saved my ass. Got a job at Hooters when I got here.
Oh my God. How long were you in Miami for?
For like 2.5 years. 2 years.
What was that experience like coming from a place like New Orleans? Did it like help you as a stepping stone because you already grew up in kind of like a wild city? Or
yeah, it was. But Miami, I never felt like it was as wild. It was just like more like chic wild.
See, New Orleans and Miami are the two major cities I haven't been to out of all the places I've been.
You have to. Miami's really interesting. It's really fun. It's kind of like, and look, when I first moved here, trust me, I mean, I hate to say it. I thought people were very nice in LA, but there were girls that were always pointing at me and laughing because I dressed very Miami. I had no clothes and no money to buy it.
Oh God. That was like when I have Jessica Keenan's performing on my Vegas show on the 14th of October. And she was on my podcast like last year, and she's from Vegas. And she was saying when she first moved to LA, like she just, big hair, big makeup, like sparkly everything. And she's like, I looked so Vegas, I stuck out like a sore. Yeah. And I feel like that's just it's a city thing with certain cities.
Totally. Like look
Jersey,
at me still though. I'm in a pink.
Jersey, Vegas, Miami. Yeah.
Like, where do you shop? I'm like, wherever the 14-year-olds do.
Somebody wrote this on their Instagram. I don't remember who I saw this on, but I thought it was really funny. It kind of stuck with me. They said that the difference between LA Fashion Week and New York Fashion Week is that LA Fashion Week people dress like the children they never had. Yeah,
I just saw that too.
Did you see that quote floating around? I was like, that's funny.
Who did it? Somebody did. I don't remember. It's gonna kill me to think of who did it. And it is 100% true.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love it because like this is a Southern look. I mean, look at me. I have pink all over, and you
look so cute.
Yeah, I wear unicorn snot glitter all over myself. It's fun. It's fun, and I just like.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
That's the thing about being in your 30s. You stop caring. Like I've always done that, but I just do what I want to do.
Yeah, but there's a point in life where you have to get like, why would you care what people thought of you?
Yeah.
You really need to hit that moment of why would you care? You shouldn't. Be you. Whatever the fuck makes you happy, like do
it. I mean, yeah, and then and it's like it's fun being underestimated as well. So I like when somebody assumes something about me and then like eventually meets me and then they're like, oh, that's not what I expected. I'm like, cool. Yeah. I like it to not be expected.
Yeah.
So Miami for 2 years. Did you start getting into any entertainment while you were there, or did you just do modeling? And
that's why I moved here, actually. So I had done this video call thing with this producer, John Daly. He did like I feel like I know that name, like a bunch of movies, and he was doing this film on this 1920s actress, Tina Modotti. She was an Italian actress. And at that point, I don't remember why, but I had dyed my hair dark brown. And when I dye my hair dark, I look like fully Italian, totally. And I dyed my hair dark at that point, probably because I was bored and I was like 21. And I read for this role and he's like, okay, so just so you know, go out there and tell them you're coming back next week, but it's free. Cause it was like, I think it was like something they were like testing this video call thing out. And it was kind of like FaceTime, but for video with, I can't describe it, but it was like, so you paid like $25 to audition. It was totally ran in the gambit, like a scam.
Yeah.
So I went back and I'd just gone and read more and more for this part. And he's like, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know if we'll get the budget for this film. And she had a long time affair with Edward Weston. Who they do shows on him, like the first photographer or whatever. And, I just kept going back and he's like, you need to move to LA. And I had a boyfriend at the time, got in a fight with him. I was like, you know what? I don't even want to be in this relationship. I'm going to move to LA in 3 months. And I had $600 saved. And I got in my good old Toyota Tercel.
Oh my God.
Drove to LA. It was crazy.
And you got another job at Hooters here.
I got another job at Hooters. When I first pulled up, I was in this hotel, and I wish I could remember.
You.
Yeah, I lived in Compton. I got an apartment, $350 a month.
What?
I rented a room, $350 a month. It was awesome. Loved it. Lived there for like a year. It was crazy.
Oh my God. 300. I can't even imagine. Like my first apartment in Chicago when I was 21 was $650 a month, and I was like, "Holy shit! This is the most expensive city in the world." Little did I know that was the cheapest apartment I would ever live in my fucking life. Yeah, it was like, that's crazy. Compton. I can't even picture you living in Compton.
Oh, I'm from New Orleans. Compton is like beautiful.
Nothing.
It's just, I was like, it is so nice here. I still go back.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. That's what's nice about being naive, though, in a way. Like, you come into a space just without judging or labeling something.
Yeah, I'm comfortable in those now. Like, I feel more, at home than in some of these other neighborhoods in LA that are like, I'm like, I don't fit in here.
That's how I feel like, that's how I feel oftentimes in either Echo Park or Beverly Hills. Those are like two ends of a spectrum that I don't fit on very well. Yeah. Like the super hipsteriness or like the really uppityness. Yeah. I can't really do. I don't really enjoy, like I don't enjoy going out in Beverly Hills. Like I don't care who's there. I'm just like, I don't think these people are that fascinating.
Yeah, I probably stick out like a sore thumb because I'm such like a down home type of chick. You know what I mean? I'm like, but something about that crazy flavor, sometimes people like it. It gives like them a moment to like get out of that.
Yeah. I mean, there's something, I can enjoy being in any space for a short amount of time, but I don't I don't really like intend to go to certain areas of LA, which is kind of funny because it is very segregated like that. Yeah. Like Marina Del Rey, like there's nothing, I'm not going to ever go and hang out there. There's just like retired people. It's like the Florida of LA.
Yeah, it totally is, right? It is. But like I live in Santa Monica and it's like
Santa Monica's amazing.
Chill.
So chill.
It's like people are like, what up? Like, hey, y'all, Like,
yeah. Which part of Santa Monica are you in? By the beach or are you more in?
No, I'm a little bit further from the beach. But but I don't live by the Main Street area, which is the cool area of Santa Monica. Like the totally like circle bar. Yeah.
Yeah, I just hung out with a friend in Santa Monica last weekend and went out on a Saturday in Venice Beach. I haven't done that in a long time, but I forgot like how every bar is completely a different personality. Like one is very classy, and then across the street is just like trashy college kids. Yeah. And like, how did they all know where to go to find their people in one block?
Totally.
And so how long have you been in Los Angeles now?
God, what? Years, like 100 years. Like 16 years.
What?
More
oh my God. 16 years?
17. Yeah, a long time.
Oh my gosh.
Probably 8. I don't know. A long time.
So what got you in from like the bartending world into comedy?
I started when I first moved here, I was acting and doing like commercials and modeling and stuff like that. And my commercial agent sent me to an acting class. And my acting coach was like, okay, just so you know, you're a comedian. Like, you need to do stand-up. That's your thing. Like, and I had dabbled in it for years. Like, I remember that's how we met. We did a show together. So, I made friends with Big Mike when I was like 23 and first started doing comedy for 6 months.
Oh my gosh.
And he would randomly once a year be like, come do this show. And it would be the only time I got on stage for that year or two.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
you just dabbled for a while.
I just would like randomly do a comedy show every 3 years.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that funny? And that's how I met you.
Yeah.
And then you came to the premiere because I had just done the film. And then about almost probably close to 2 years ago, I started doing stand-up nonstop.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So because it's hard to say when you started in that case because when I first started stand-up, I was getting up like once or twice a week in Chicago for like 3 months, which I didn't realize wasn't that much.
Yeah.
And then I started going up like 6-7 times a week or more.
I feel like at first you kind of have to.
Yeah. No, I like really, I mean, for the first number of years that I did stand up, I went up that often. And when I'm in New York and stuff, I still do. But now I just try to do more time in like larger shows, you know. But that's the thing. I'm hitting, I just passed year 9. Isn't that fucking crazy?
You have been doing stand up for 9 years?
Yeah.
Straight.
9 years straight.
Damn, girl, you go, girl. That's amazing.
9 years straight, and then 14 years of comedy. Because I did sketch and improv.
That's what I did too. Mm-hmm. I did sketch and improv, and then I was on a little indie team for a while. We performed, and I did like YouTube videos all the time, you know, different channels with different people. And then I was like, you know what? I really like stand up. I'm just going back to that, and that is what I'm going to do. And it's, you know, it takes a little bit to figure out what you want to say, and now it's just like boom, 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 you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, have you feel like you found a voice yet, or are you still kind of
totally?
Finding it?
But I didn't start doing it again until I had an idea of who I was.
You had dabbled in it for enough years to like at least kind of figure that part out before hitting it hard. And I wish, I mean, this podcast is going to be coming out until Tuesday, but we'll have already done our show together at Comedy Store. You're going to be at Comedy Store with me on Sunday, which I'm excited about because I haven't seen your stand up since probably that first show.
Yeah, I know. And that's all because I did family characters a lot and talked about growing up. And
that's what's cool is we're hitting this really interesting time of stand-up where people can't talk about anything, but they can also do anything. Yeah. Like comedy specials are becoming different. Mine is going to be very different. People are doing characters on stage. Some comedy specials are being shot in multiple locations. Yeah. You know, like it's just not, as far as the way people are approaching comedy, it's like such an open-mindedness. And as far as what people say, it's like, oh, my asshole's so tight. Everybody's assholes are so tight. Isn't that weird? We're in such a strange time for comedy. We are,
but the world is so crazy, and that's the problem.
Well, and we're in this, we were talking about the whole cancel culture thing, me and my friend in Las Vegas this week, because I feel like we're hitting this threshold of like everybody trying to cancel everybody, and it's just getting out of hand. Like, you know, don't you feel like that in the comedy space especially? I feel like everybody trying to cancel people. Yeah, cancel YouTubers, cancel that guy, cancel this guy, cancel that
taking people down, you mean?
Yeah, just for anything.
Totally.
And we have to have like some sort of cutoff line of where we think people should be canceled because...
Yeah, well, I just feel like people are throwing a lot of hate all the time.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, for like as far as like the SNL guy who didn't get to stay on SNL because of something that he said on a podcast like 6 years ago or whatever, like that kind of stuff is ridiculous.
Well, that one girl got fired from SNL as well because she had tweeted something really nasty about Donald Trump's kid. But a lot of people
I don't mean to laugh, but yeah. I mean, like, you know, you have to watch once you're already in the limelight. You do have to watch more of what you say and do it tactfully because that's part of your job as being a public figure.
Yeah.
Some people don't abide by that, and that's fine. But I don't think you should be able to go back at something somebody said 6 years before they had their big break and use that to judge who they are now.
Well, everybody's doing that right now.
I know.
I'm just telling you, it's happening to celebrities. You know, what I mean, it happened to Kevin Hart, who's like the greatest person alive. Like, it's happening to everyone. And yeah, I mean, it's just, you got to keep going. I mean, I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, that's what I was saying to my friend in Vegas. I'm like, we have all been on Facebook since college. Who knows what any of us have written like 25, you know, when you've been on Facebook for 20 years, I probably got up drunk one morning and was just like, blah, blah, blah. I have no idea. I don't think I ever said anything bad or like racist. I'm not racist. I'm not homophobic.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would say anything like that, but who knows how people take shit.
I mean, listen, my hairdresser was gay when I was like 19 in Miami, and he's like, sometimes I get drunk and make out with girls. I was like, let's go out drinking. He was the hottest guy. Like,
my gay best friend used to do that too. And sometimes he would like lick my face, and I thought it was so funny.
I mean, would it be a crime if I liked a gay guy? No.
Right? I mean, that's kind of the perfect scenario. You marry a rich gay guy and you just both can do whatever you want and have somebody to snuggle with every once in a while. I mean, it's the Will and Grace thing. It's a resurgence of the opposite of a beard, right?
Totally.
Well, what do you have coming up that you're excited about? Any projects? What do you have coming out? Anything you're working on that you're excited to announce?
Well, I'm on the Alex Thomas's Funny Don't Stop every Tuesday night on Dash Radio from 8 to 9:30, and that is hilarious. People can always tune in and watch. That's really fun. I have a bunch of shows coming up, but they're always on my Instagram. So follow me at Bling and Betsy, and you'll see. And
what about Twitter, or website, or anything like that?
I'm Bling and Betsy on Twitter. My website is blingandbetsy.com.
I like that we're staying on brand. We're staying on brand.
Totally.
And you can find me, of course, at NPH Comedy. You can follow the podcast at Future Role Model or at Role Model Pod on Twitter. All my tickets and upcoming tours and Vegas show links for all the dates for the end of 2019 are at nphcomedy.com/TIX. Any closing remarks?
I think that's it.
I think that was awesome.
That was awesome. It was super fun.
All right. Bye.
Bye.